This video is talking about secrets to fat loss that will normalize your health, your heart attack risks, your blood sugar, other kinds of things. Recently, I've done a lot of several videos around this subject, but not one that was really done to try to eliminate the fat loss. So here's an article again. I've promoted his publications, but not for spending any money because I don't have any cause to do that. I don't have a pony in the game or whatever you want to call it. Don't make a single cent from anything he sells, in other words. But Julian Whitaker, an MD, been around since 1969. You've heard me talk about him if you've watched any of my videos before. But in this particular booklet he sent me, he says fat is stored in billions of fat cells, and they're located throughout our body, and not all fat are created equal. Most visible type fat is located just below the skin. They create what we typically call love handles, cellulite on the thighs, fat that you can grab or shake, or a pot belly. The other types of fat are the kind as in the visceral adipose tissue, or VAT. If you've heard about that, great. If you haven't, I'm sorry that I sprung it on you. But these lie beneath the muscles and around the organs. A pot belly, even on someone who is not otherwise overweight, is the sign of excessive visceral fat. So while that fat can be present in healthy people and for the most part pretty good for you, the pot belly probably is something you should try to eliminate if possible. Abdominal fats is far more problematic than big hips or thighs. You ask a woman that, and maybe that's not true. I don't know. This is because fat cells are not simply a passive storehouse for lipids, but an active organ that secretes hormones and chemical messengers and responds to signals from nervous, immune, or endocrine systems. This is true of the VAT type. They're the passive storehouse kind. Well, primary cause of the VAT in your abdomen or your pot belly that are the problems is the fat metabolism, I'll get it right in a minute, in the liver. It releases free fatty acids into the bloodstream, and it raises levels of triglycerides, which obviously adversely affects your cardiovascular system. So the VAT fat can be a real problem, and it's a kind that probably you're going to have some kind of visible sign on the outside rather than just totally on the inside. Well, one of the things that we probably all have heard in our lives, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Dr. Whitaker puts forth this fact, and he backs it up by a lot of research, a lot of human tests and whatever. Believe it if you will, it's up to you. If you want to lose fat instead of lean muscle mass, decrease abdominal fat, lower your blood sugar, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your triglycerides, all while improving insulin sensitivity, you need to consider the mini fast. Here's how it works. Get up in the morning, drink a glass of water or a cup of coffee or tea. Not decaffeinated now. You can use a little creamer, a little sweetener if you want. It says low calorie. You're probably better off using just regular sugar, but just a little. Take your supplements if you've given any that you're taking that don't upset your stomach. But do not eat breakfast or drink anything other coffee, tea, or water. Now here's this next thing that might be hard to do. Put on your workout gear and do some aerobic exercises. Walk briskly, jog, cycle, treadmill, stair stepper, stationary bike, a pedaling exercises like I have, or go out and walk for 30 minutes a day that weather permits. Important thing is you get exercise for 20 to 45 minutes wherever you can, usually every day. Now, my 30-minute walk outside sometimes will take 35, sometimes it'll be in the 25-minute category. Well, after you exercise, get on with your day. Continue fasting until lunch. Drink plenty of water. You can feel free to have coffee or tea. Don't worry about being too hungry to make it up through the morning. You have to try this to believe it. I've heard that any new habit that you want to undertake, if you do it strictly for 21 days in a row, and that may not be easy to do anything for 21 days in a row, but after you do it for that long, it becomes second nature to you, and then it becomes much easier. Well, then at lunchtime, break your fast. Eat normally for the rest of the day. Obviously, if you're trying to lose fat, eat plenty of lean protein, low glycemic carbohydrates. You don't have to count calories, but you don't want to pig out at lunch or dinner either. Dr. Whitaker says, fortunately, you find that eating sensible for 2 meals a day requires far less discipline than cutting calories for all day long, or 3 meals. This mini fast also makes sticking to the routine much easier over the long haul. What'd I say? 21 days in a row. So why forgo breakfast? Well, if you miss 1 meal per day, every day of the week, you're making a significant dent in your overall food intake. In terms of caloric intake, 6 days of this program is equivalent to 2 days of fasting, and 2 months is equivalent to 20 days fast. This calorie restriction in and of itself contributes to weight loss and fat loss. So this mini fast takes advantage of and expands upon the 10 to 12 hours you normally fast during the night. By morning, your body is beginning to deplete the glycogen in your liver. from the carbohydrates you ate at your evening meal. And it's starting to rely more on the fat stored to get its energy. That's why it starts reducing the fat. You're not putting fat back in the morning. You're using it for the energy you need, especially for that workout that follows. So the aerobic exercise is a critical part in this mini fast program. That means you may have to get up 30 minutes earlier every single morning if you're working, or you've got some responsibilities that you need to take care of pretty early. But the fuel used during that morning you're walking, you're taking place of, instead of eating breakfast, comes from burning the fat. And that makes sense? It does to me. Now you may ask, well, have I done this? Do I need to do this? Well, if you've watched any of my videos, you've gotten a feel for some of my background. I don't need to anymore. As I told you, when I had that mass on a pancreas, it got into my fat burning, and I lost 60 pounds. 60. Starting to look a little bit more robust, whatever, than I did right after losing all 60. And boy, have I gained weight since. I've gained at least 5 or 6 pounds. If you can't laugh about certain things in your health, you're doomed to have real depression. Well, there are supplements that burn fat. Here's one, and I'm not going to get into a lot of this because I wanted to give you this mini fast diet first of all. But I want to give you a few more things. And I'll not be able to pronounce this word. It's got to be 20 letters long, and it starts dehydro whatever, cytogen and whatever. But the letters are DHEA. It's a natural counter regulator of cortisol. It assists in abdominal weight loss. DHEA. For men, they lost 10.2% of their fat. Women lost 7.4% when they took this supplement in the required dosage. And the required dosage for men is 50 milligrams. For women, it's 25. Now, it's not recommended for anyone with prostate, brain, ovarian cancer. It eliminates, putting down here, other kinds of cancers. Does that mean it's okay with these other kind? Probably, but you may want to check to be sure if you've got cancer. It does say that blood levels should be tested 3 months before starting DHEAN. Now, I've long said in some of my videos, you should have your blood tested at least 6 to 9 months. And no longer than every year. And you'll find out beforehand some things that are triggering you to watch out some things, to get a hold of your health. Now, I know some of you men, if you're watching, you say, well, I don't need to. I'm in good shape. Why do I need to have blood work done? Well, you might find that you're a little high in certain things, and you can do something to minimize that and never run into a problem that you may have been down the road heading toward. Why not? For 79 years, I took a lot of vitamins and minerals. and I was healthy. I had a kidney stone when I was 18, but that was long before I started taking vitamin minerals. So that had nothing to do. I've not had the kidney problem since, or kidney stone. Another thing that I would highly recommend that I used to have in my closet and get to every once in a while, and over the last couple of years, I've neglected this. It's not a vitamin or a mineral. It's green tea. It's been long touted for fat burning, and is a superstar in the Battle of the Bulge. Italian researchers gave a supplement containing green tea to 50 overweight or obese people and another 50 on placebo. Study participants adhered to the reduced calorie diet, 1350 to 1850 per day, both of them. So the food would not be a factor in this. It would just be the green tea or the placebo. After 90 days, the men and women taking the green tea extract lost an average of 34 to 26 and 26 pounds, respectively. Men 34, women 26. In 90 days, just on one supplement, or consuming the same amount of green tea every day. It's up to you how you want to consume it. I used to have green tea as a supplement, but then I also started taking green tea and drinking it. One more. There's a hydroxycitric acid. I'll get it right in a minute. Hydroxycitric acid called HCA. It's an extract from Carcinogen camelbogia, which is a fruit native to India. And it's another supplement to consider to introduce in your mini fast. HCA helps keep blood sugar in normal range, so you won't have lightheaded, spacey, or irritable feelings when you get blood sugar levels fall too low. Now, we're not talking about too high in this case, are we? In addition, it stimulates the activity of an enzyme that enables fat burning in the level as well as the production of ketones. Suggested dose is 1,000 milligrams daily, HCH. So, I've given you some things that you may want to take along with these. Your DHEA, your green tea, your HCH are all beneficials to helping fat reduction and loss, besides your mini fast diet. Now, you can also lift weight. That's a good thing to do. You'll never be like my son, who was in his 20s and 30s. He could bench press 424 pounds. Now, if you know anything about bench pressing at all, your first reaction is, oh no, he couldn't have done that. Well, he was a lifeguard. He worked out every single day. He was going to school. He was in the music business. Had time to work out. He was single for a period of time, but he continued on while he was married. He now has 3 children, 3 of my grandchildren. He just turned 50. Now, he's no longer doing 424 bench pressing, but he does approach 300 bench pressing pounds every single day, or in the times he gets back to Texas. Now, no one's telling you need to do anything elaborate, but consider some bench pressing. You don't have to hang out in the gym to pump iron. Get some hand weights. I've got some hand weights I use at home, 50 pounds and 40 pounds. I try to do 50 in each hand each day on the low one, and I haven't graduated to the higher one yet. I do my pedal exercises or walk outside. And while I'm not doing that to lose weight, I'm doing that to regain muscle and regain strength. You can do it for the fat loss, as this video said. So these are some of the secrets to fat loss that Julian Whitaker is recommending. And I'm really recommending too. And I have no dog in this chase or whatever kind of saying you want to use. But do some research. Help yourself. Get your weight under control. Live longer. If you've got a family, live longer for them. If you've just got friends, live longer for them. If you're a Christian like I am, go out and witness to people. Bring them to the Lord and let them live in what my book says, the glorious future, which is the new heaven and the new earth, which we will live forever. If you're not a Christian yet, go to my other website, Revelations of Heaven. Take a look at some of those videos. And may God bless you in all your endeavor.